Good day, subscribers. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am Jeremy. This is the Financial Education Channel, and today we're talking about, is life just one big game of luck? Is it? Is it? Is it? Is it? I think it's a fair question, and I think it's a question a lot of people ask themselves at some point in time. They see someone else succeeding, they see someone there on TV, and they say, wow, that person's lucky. They're lucky. And the truth is, in life, luck does play a factor. We cannot deny luck. However, there's definitely a way you can manipulate luck. Every single person watching this video, you can manipulate your luck, and I'll explain that. First off, why does life need some luck? You need some luck in life, right? Think about it. If you were born, let's say I was born, I was a little kid to a Jewish family in Germany in 1940. Probably wouldn't have been very good for me, right? Probably would have been a very unlucky situation. I probably would have been killed, correct? Let's think, what if I was born in 1800 something and I was born to a slave family? Like, what would my life have been? Like, I would have been a slave. What if Warren Buffett happened to be born, instead of being born in America, to a dad that was involved in the securities, which was kind of involved with the stock market? What if instead of that, he happened to be born in some village in Africa? Or what happens if he happened to be born in some, third world country or something like that? Would Warren Buffett have been Warren Buffett? Think about it. What if instead of LeBron James happening to be born, with all his physical God-given gifts, right? What if instead of him being born in 1986, I think that's the year he was born, 1986, and now, it's the 2000s and he's making, $30, $50 million a year playing basketball. What if he was born 100 years before that? There would have been no opportunity for him to play basketball. He wouldn't have ever been able to capitalize on his God-given gifts of physical talent. So you absolutely, absolutely need some kind of luck to succeed in life. We cannot deny that. We cannot deny that fact. However, you can absolutely manipulate your luck. And I don't care in whatever you're trying to do, whether you're trying to be successful at owning a business, whether you're trying to be successful in the stock market, whether you're trying to be, find a great girlfriend or boyfriend or wife or husband or whoever, you can absolutely manipulate your luck. How do you manipulate your luck? Well, you keep trying at whatever you're doing, and you keep trying to succeed, and you find a way to make it work. At the end of the day, guys, very, very often, people think that people just succeed overnight. It's just you're an overnight success, and you're great. You're an overnight success, you got lucky. When the truth of the matter is, almost everybody you've ever known that succeeded, whether you know them personally in life or whether you know them as a hero on TV or someone, a popular person, a celebrity or something, they put in massive amounts of work, kept manipulating their luck until they got that lucky chance, and they capitalized on that chance, guys. They capitalized on that. Every musician you pretty much know, and that's superstar nowadays, every single one of them had albums out, had songs out, and they weren't popping. Like, they weren't big time back then. But they kept trying, they kept putting in the work year after year, and all of a sudden, boom, then they had their lucky moment, and then they were an overnight success, even though they weren't an overnight success. They had years in the making doing that. I mean, let's think about some of the biggest musicians nowadays, right? Some of the top selling musicians in the world, right? Someone that comes to mind is someone like a Drake, right? Drake was not an overnight success. Some people think that. He had his first big album that blew up in 2009. He had an album in 2007. He had songs in 2008, 2006 even. He was on Degrassi. Like, he had a lot of stuff he was trying, but he never blew up. And the first time he really blew up was 2009, and then he kept capitalizing on that and kept going with it. Let's think about Katy Perry, probably one of the biggest musicians out there, if not the biggest. She was not an overnight success. There's clips of her here on YouTube of her singing backup vocals in some rock band back in, the mid-2000s. She was not an overnight success. She had to work her way up for years and years, try to get better and manipulate that luck until all of a sudden she had the breakout song, and then she kept going with it. The Weeknd, same deal. Like every musician you pretty much ever known that's huge nowadays, they all had, to build up until they had that one song take off, and then all of a sudden they made something of it. And another thing is that people don't understand about this luck game, right? is when you get that chance and all of a sudden something pops and something works out for you. And this is a business, this can be a stock, this can be anything in life. Like we were just talking about musicians, that's a good example. When you have that, you have to keep rolling with it, right? Otherwise, you become a one-hit wonder. And let's think about Facebook and let's think about Zuckerberg. So we could argue that he was an overnight success because he hadn't really done anything yet in his life, and Facebook was really the first business he started, and it just happened to explode and do phenomenal, right? Well, Zuckerberg consistently fought off all these huge competitors. So he didn't just get lucky, he got lucky and then he manipulated his luck by beating off everybody else. And how else did he manipulate it? Well, his biggest competitor, that he saw, coming up in the game, was Instagram. And what did he do? He bought Instagram. He bought Instagram. So he manipulated his luck to keep going because he bought his biggest competitor. You think about who's his other biggest competitor? Snapchat. Who did he try to buy about 3 years ago for $3 billion? Snapchat, because he knew, shit, they got something going on. I'm gonna try to manipulate my luck by buying this company over here, and then I just manipulated my luck some more. So whatever you're trying to do, guys, you can manipulate your luck. And this is the thing that kind of frustrates me about a lot of entrepreneur type stories, a lot of people we look up to in the business world, right? We a lot of times focus on the ones that did it really young, right? Wow, they were 20 years old and they started this business and they blew it up. Steve Jobs, wow, what a story. Steve Jobs, 21 years old in his garage with Steve Wozniak. He built his company. Nowadays, it's the biggest company in the world, right? Great story. The part of the story they forget is the part where he was kicked out of Apple and he starts his Next computer, right? Which ultimately was a complete failure. Next Computers, when he went on to start that, which he had a lot more experience, he had a ton of money behind him at that time. That company was an absolute failure. The only reason they basically got a bailout deal. Apple saw some technology that was interesting, right? They saw some technology that was interesting, but they saw Steve Jobs and the board of directors wanted Steve Jobs back at the company. And so Steve Jobs kind of got a bailout and Apple got a bailout because honestly, if things kept going, Next was going to fail. There's no doubt about it. They were hemorrhaging money left and right. If you know anything about the story, they were going to go out of business. And Apple was going to go out of business if Steve Jobs never came back. So, this fact that, oh, so-and-so just got lucky or they got put in that position, there's a lot of times, guys, it takes a lot of things. A lot of people are in their 30s and 40s that start successful businesses, small businesses, mid-sized businesses, or huge companies you can invest in nowadays, right? That they failed over and over again. They failed and they failed and they failed. And then all of a sudden, they kept manipulating their luck because they kept trying. That's really what differentiates the successful people from the unsuccessful people. The successful people will fail and they'll say, okay, let me try it again, but a different way, not the same exact way. Let me try something different here. Okay, I failed again. Let me try again. Okay, I failed again. Let me try again. The ones that are successful are the ones that keep getting up. They keep getting up each day. They keep saying, okay, I failed again. I'm going to make this work. A lot of the people that are unsuccessful, honestly, are the ones that will try something once or none, right? They'll try something once. They will fail at it and they say, oh, well, I tried. Time to move on. I guess I gotta, go work for a company or whatever it is. Or I guess the stock market's not for me. I failed on my first stock investment. This isn't for me or whatever. That's how unsuccessful people think. Oh, well, I tried, it didn't work out. It's not meant for me. I can't start a business because my first one failed. I can't invest in the stock market. My first one failed. I can't invest in real estate because that first one I didn't make money in. I lost money in. I can't do this. I can't do that because I failed. Think about it, guys. The ones that kept going, the ones that were willing to adapt and change and try to figure out, how do I get better at this? Those are the ones that end up succeeding in the end, guys. And everybody else is the ones that just fall by the wayside. They fall down, guys. And that's just the way it works. So life, it's absolutely a part luck, but it's also, you can manipulate it. In every situation, you can manipulate your luck, guys. Everyone. There's not one situation, here on YouTube, right? A lot of people think like, a YouTuber, wow, they're an overnight success, right? very rarely there's ever overnight successes on YouTube, guys. I mean, think about, one of the biggest tech guys out there, MKHBD or something like that. His channel name is MKHBD, I think it is, or MKBHD, I think it is. Anyways, he's got like 3 or 4 million subscribers, one of the biggest tech influencers out there now. And he had hundreds of videos up, and he had less than 100 subscribers. And he just kept going with it, kept getting better at his craft. And all of a sudden one day, he's an overnight success, and he's got all these people. Casey Neistat, that guy is all of a sudden blown up within the last year or two, and now he's like famous, right? Especially on YouTube, he's super famous. Even off of YouTube, he's famous. And, he was in the Samsung commercial at the Academy Awards, like the primetime spot and all this kind of stuff. The guy had a YouTube channel since 2009, 2010. He'd been making videos for 5 years before he really blew up, guys. So remember, you can manipulate your luck, or you can decide, hey, I lost. Maybe this isn't for me, and you can fall by the wayside. And, the chances of you succeeding with that type of mentality, very low. It's very low, very low. The chances of you succeeding by keep trying to get a little smarter. You know what? I learned from this last one. I'm going to get a little smarter in this next one. Chance of you succeeding at that, guys, very, very high. I hope you enjoyed this today. If you just came across this channel, you may want to subscribe. We talk personal finance on the channel. We talk entrepreneurship. I'm an actual business owner. This video is a little entrepreneurial type. We also talk the stock market, the most of everything, how to be a successful investor. And this video could also relate to investing absolutely. Thank you for watching, guys, and have a great day.